So what's your mission? What are you trying to do?
Well, right now, I'm just mostly concerned with the imminent fascist takeover of the United States. It
It's
seems,
valid concern. It's a valid
yeah,
concern.
the Republican Party is very committed to anti-democracy at the moment, like with a consistency and a shamelessness that we've just really haven't ever seen before. And the Democrats are just chilling. It seems
Well,
like
they're McResistance. That's McResistance. That's
yeah,
not
yeah.
real.
Like we get the Jan 6 committee's recommendation to prosecute Donald Trump. The issue here isn't Donald Trump. Donald Trump's just the guy who's there at the
Right.
moment. Like the entire party apparatus for the GOP is fully committed to this. If it's not Trump, it'll be DeSantis or anyone else.
Yeah.
But you know, we're just kind of sleepwalking into this. Very disappointing.
We're kind of living through this whole, neoliberalism nightmare all over again.
Well, we're in this post-neoliberalism uprising, and
Yeah.
people are going to the right because there is no left.
No, I completely agree. And frankly, not only is there no left, there's not even like a liberal left. If you want a message on what the Republicans care about right now, they have an army. They have a massive, incredibly dedicated, well-funded, committed media team that will give you an extremely extensive understanding of what they're about right now. What do the Democrats have? Here's a quick question, by the way. Who are the Democrats throwing up there for 2024? We have guesses, but normally a political party, especially, a front-running political party whose current guy is 800 years old, you'd think they would have very clear, strong, early messaging on who they think strong contenders are. What do we have? Nobody knows what's going on, and as a product of that, Democrats don't have anywhere to turn when it comes to cohesive messaging. Republicans can look to literally any of their political leaders or pundits to get that kind of cohesion.
I think they've really cultivated that desire for the anti-establishment movement that is happening in this country. Do you see it the same way?
Oh, no, completely. Yeah, the Democrats are violently reject. So to my mind, both Republicans and Democrats are ultimately subservient to capital in different ways and to different extents. I think the Republicans are way worse in this respect, but ultimately, same master. And with Republicans, all this culture war fascism bullshit is basically just an extension of the same play run they've been doing since Reagan, which is we're going to wholeheartedly commit to culture war talking points as a way of distracting the average voter from the fact that we are fucking them sideways with our economic policy, We're going to pass nonstop wealthy tax cuts, and you're just going to sit there and take it because also we're the ones who are keeping abortion from happening or this or that or whatever. And they fully commit to that.
Well, we're protecting you from the gays. No, we're protecting you from the trans people in the bathroom.
From the
and
trans
so
people,
somebody
right.
has to protect you from them because those Democrats are teaching them how to just change genders in kindergarten.
From the violent video games, from the satanic panic, hair metal bands, always and always and always and always it goes on. And it's and through all that, they're able to find populist ways of pushing their messaging that don't conflict with that appraisal of capital. But Democrats don't have that, because what happens if you go for populist left? The populist left is anti-capital. They'll actually challenge corporations, You go Bernie Sanders, and you actually see a threat to the power systems in this country. Donald Trump doesn't represent that. So for that reason, I think the Dems are terrified of their own populist wing, which means they can't really compete with Republicans on the same playing field. Nobody likes institutionalists right now. It's completely out of fashion.
And that whatever the GOP is going to do, no matter how bloody their primary is going to be, because eventually other people are going to get in there to join Trump, whether it is Pence, whether it is Nikki Haley, whether it is Ron DeSantis, whether it is Scott Pruitt.
Kanye West, he's going for it.
In the GIMP outfit or not. I mean, the bottom line is that primary is going to be rough, but ultimately they will unite to beat either Joe Biden or whomever. To me, speaks of greater volumes to we desperately need to get something going here. I mean, our thought was possibly having some type of a labor organizer, leader, run against Joe.
It's just not enough time. And the bottom line is they're going to put up Joe because that's what they've got.
No, I completely agree. It's ridiculous. There doesn't seem to be any institutional drive to win from the Democrats,
They like
the
this.
GOP is burning themselves through. Like they're risking a lot of internal conflict by promoting DeSantis over Trump. They're willing to put effort into what they think will suit their party most effectively in the future. Dems are just they're just sitting there, just a big, easy, fat target.
Well, don't you think it's sort of like that's their role? They're the McResistance. That's the point. Like they're not really. This is all like WWE wrestling kind of thing. Like they're all kind of friends at the end. People like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, they'll like hang out. Like this isn't it. They just played the bad guy on TV.
Yeah, I used to think that it was malicious on their part, that they were the planned opposition. But the more this happens, I actually don't think that's true. I actually think that it's, in a way, it's more sinister. It's an ideological thing. I think that liberalism in its precepts kind of leads them to believe that this civility high road bullshit. I think they mean it when they say it, you know? When Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi like get along or whatever, I legitimately think that in Nancy Pelosi's head, she's doing this like, well, by indicating that I'm willing to sit down with the opposition, right, I'm actually one of the people saving American democracy. No matter how many times the Republicans like stab Democrats in the back or lie or turn their back on mutually necessary legislation, I genuinely think they believe that. I think it's like a liberal mind parasite. There's like a brain worm keeping them from understanding what's happening.
The grievance on the Hill that I think is just unbelievable at this point is the fact that they can't even get a vote on whether or not to ban insider trading amongst congressional representatives.
We're actually discussing that. Like that's the fact that the people doing it vote on it. It's laughable.
Come on, come on. Nancy Pelosi has to make money somehow. Come on.
But don't you think that at some point the corruption becomes just so brazen in everybody's face that they're just not going to take it anymore?
Well, here's the thing. In terms of, so like, again, in terms of like open corruption, nobody beats Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the most flagrant, like wouldn't divest from his businesses, immediately got his family members in there, like the Jared Kushner $2 billion with the Saudis thing. Like did preferential business with countries that he had like estate holdings in with like his territory. He like incredibly corrupt. But the difference is like, just in terms of pure optics, Donald Trump is able to sell anti-establishmentarianism like as a concept. He's able to make it seem like it's a thing he's doing. He's not. That's not true. He's lying, as he often does. But the Democrats don't have an interest even in an aesthetic adoption of that. The Democrat messaging is everything is fine, stay the course. We just need to try a little bit harder at what we're doing right now, and it'll all be okay. I think we
need one more Democrat in there. We just got to get one more Democrat in there.
A little bit further, you know? And I do think, like, I do believe that the Republicans' fear-mongering is bullshit, because the stuff they say they want to change is like, oh yeah, dude, America is dying because of trans people or whatever. But the messaging they take, like the tone of things are fucked and we need to have, like, we need substantial change. Fear is warranted from the position of the average American right now. That's not a lie when it's being done on our side.